Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Sister, your mind can fuck with you. Your mind can fuck with you. So I'm recording this. You're going to hear this once I'm not here, but right now in Orlando, Florida, at a huge business conference called Funnel Hacking Live. It is at one of the Disney resorts. So one of the resorts with a hotel, there's a conference center and all the Mickey Mouse shit. We're one of those bands where you just fucking tap it everywhere, and Disney does very well. What a great business model that is. Easy peasy. Don't even see the money going in and out, right? It's cool. I respect that. But as I'm walking along here, it's 5:35 in the morning. It's dark. There's kind of like a path. I'm doing this like loop around this. I don't know if it's a man-made lake or it's some kind of, I have no idea. Everything with Disney, I'm not really quite sure. What's real? What's not real? And nobody's up right now, by the way. Nobody. Lots of lights. Everything's well lit. It's good. It's still dark. Sun has not come up yet. But as we were walking to where our first room was, which, by the way, there's a part of the resort here which has not been renovated. We found out for, I would say, decades. It is a shithole. We rolled up here on a Tuesday, got checked in, retired. We're like different time zone. We're Pacific time, and this is Eastern, so it's 3-hour time difference. It's a bit of a chunk, but I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Happy to be here. And we roll up. We're like, oh, that's good. We come to the hotel. We're like, oh, this is, it's okay here. It's all right. Very Disney-ified, of course. And then we roll up in a room, and we're like, are you fucking kidding me? Literally like a Motel 6. I'm like, what the fuck? What, we paid for this room? What the fuck? Like, I don't want to stay. We're like, well, this is the way it is. A day or two later, after having conversations with people, like, hey, my room's really nice. We're like, well, where are you staying? It's like, I'm over at this building. We're like, oh, shit. And thinking of the first night, oh, we should ask to change. We're like, oh, my God. So it's like 3,500 entrepreneurs at this conference. Not everyone's staying here. It is spring break right now, like Canada and U.S. It's just like, no, there's no way there'll be a room. Like, we won't even ask. Well, guess what? 2 days later, we asked, and we got the badass room now. Way better. But as we were walking out to the initial room, there's almost like there's two, swampy pond. I don't even know, again, if this is man-made something. I don't think it's a man-made thing because they had a sign up. And the sign around this, we'll just say body of water, says, don't get too close because there's snakes and gators. I'm like, gators? What the hell? No gators in Victoria, BC. What the fuck? And so as I'm walking along here, this is podcast number 2. I'm kind of binge recording some podcasts here early morning so I can send out to my amazing podcast dude, Evan. What's up, Evan? Because he listens to every single episode. Love and appreciate you, brother. And as I'm walking along this little man-made, whatever this fucking thing is, body water, I hear like a splash in the water. I'm like, what? Is that a gator moving around? Damn. Because there actually was. I've had a few people, Ed, my husband Ed mentioned, cab driver mentioned, it was a year or two ago. It was one of Disney resorts where there was like a toddler, I don't know, 3-year-old, something like that was like attacked and killed by a gator at one of the Disney resorts. It's like, this shit's like, they're not just putting up signs like, ha ha ha, don't get too close because of snakes and gators. No, there are in that water. So I heard this little splash. As I'm walking around, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm walking a little bit close because I'm just kind of doing laps. This is my movement here today. And my mind went there. My mind started to create pictures and fuck with me. Your mind can do that, right? If you've ever been at the gym or working yourself hard, and I've been this way boxing where I'm like, I can't fucking do this. I'm tired. I can't go anymore. And yet you push yourself and you realize, oh shit, I guess I could do more because I just did, right? As a parent, as a mother, and you come across a challenge and you go, oh my God, when they're babies, like, oh, I'm so sleep deprived. And then if you have more than one, the second one comes around, you're like, I can fucking do this shit standing in my head. I got this. Sleep deprivation, whatever. So I said to someone who was single, no kids, I'm like a motherfucking Navy SEAL. You don't understand the training that parenthood brings to you. Like, you have problems because you're tired? Please, let's not even go there. You don't know. You know, if you're a parent, those single people conversations where it's a percentage say single people, those that don't have kids and go, oh, it's so hard. You're like, dude, you don't fucking know hard, right? And you get through that difficult time, and then you get to toddler, and the potty training, and then you get to school stuff. And you think at the time when you're in those moments, you're like, oh my God, I can't fucking get through this, but then you do. Your mind begins to fuck with you. I'm not a good parent. I'm not that. And it's like, you know what? Your kids are alive. You're a great parent. Your kids are thriving. You're good. You're good. Your mind can fuck with you. Have you ever had a situation, maybe you have an argument with your husband? Yes. Marriage involves fighting. It is part of it. It is okay. Let's not be black sheep about this shit anymore. It is normal. And you have a fight which escalates and it gets this completely out of control, and then you say shit and you're like, the next morning you're like, what the hell happened? Your mind began to fuck with you. So I want you to know this. I want you to know that, like, your mind, the shit that starts to go down, particularly or when you are in that sympathetic nerve system response, when you're in that fight or flight, you're in rage, you're in heightened emotion. And it's that sympathetic, it's that fight or flight. Your mind is a liar. It is telling you stuff that is not true because it thinks that you're in a state of crisis. Run from the bear. That's what it's telling you, but it's saying it in crazy, more modern ways, right? Oh my God, your husband's out of control. You need to divorce him. You're the shittiest mother on the planet. You should just fucking pack it up and go now. You were never supposed to be a mother. You cannot do another rep, because if you do, you certainly will die. Right? Your mind can fuck with you, and it will. And so what do you do with that? Well, it's up to you to recognize that. It's up to you that resistance is going to come up. Just like fighting in marriage, also normal. The way that I see it is this, sister. This is simply a challenge, if you will. Right? It is a question mark from the universe saying, you sure you want this? You want parenting? Here's what it's going to take. You better get fucking tough. You want to stay in this marriage? Why don't you fucking step up the plate and start doing some work about it? You want this body? That's going to come with a fucking price. How badly do you want it? And how much are you willing to believe the lies that your mind is telling yourself? Or are you more committed to being like, I got this, I want this, I will get this. I will figure this out in my marriage. I will figure this out with my children. I will push myself hard to train my body. Why do we do these things? Does it just take like a crazy person like me to go, I'm relentless, I'll just keep going? No, this is how you get to power. This is why most people don't have it. They're not willing to go to these places. They'll go, no, see, you know what? Well, I can't do the extra rep because I did leg day yesterday, and like, it's like, you're doing legs again today, so like, I'm tired. Or, I'm gonna do this shit with my husband, so, let's just not talk about it. I'm just gonna drink some wine, it'll just go away. Let me just brush that shit under the carpet and not have to have the conversation. But if you're willing to face the beast, if you're willing to look at that shit that's coming up that your mind is telling you and say, hello resistance, hello, crazy shit running through my mind right now. I recognize that you are not real, that what you're saying is bullshit, and I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. So you might as well just get out of the fucking way, because I'm gonna mow you over. Don't let your mind fuck with you. So here's your more tip for today, sister. Where are you actually allowing that to happen? What is the thing coming up right now that you are actually letting your mind fuck with you and you're believing it to be true when it is just simply not? You've never even questioned it. You just believe it. It would kind of be like seeing those magazines at the checkout, like Us Magazine and People and I don't know, all the bullshit gossip magazines where I rarely see that shit anymore, especially do online groceries. So the few times I pop in the grocery store and I see that stuff, it's like, ugh, like it's just such a, it's gross. Because I look at that shit and I go, all this is bullshit. Majority of news that you see, bullshit. Like, majority of stuff, by the way, too, on the internet, bullshit. Why do you think so many of you, when you actually find this podcast, connect with it? And I ask a lot of you, and you'll share it a lot of the time, too. Because we know when real is in a sea of bullshit, including the bullshit and the lies that your mind is trying to tell you, we recognize truth. We feel it. It resonates with us, right? So where is it right now that you're letting your mind fuck with you? Where is that? Here's the second piece of this. And I want you to really fucking chew on this. Most of you will not want to do this next piece, but here it is. What is it costing you to believe the lies that your mind is trying to tell you is true? What is it costing you? What dollar amount is it costing you? How is it emotionally costing you? How is it physically costing you? Let's take a look at something, say, like fitness, exercise, movement. If you're constantly going like, well, I'm tired, I can't today, and I'm just not really feeling it, and like I should probably take some more time, and like you just don't get your fucking ass in gear. You just don't, or it's inconsistent. And let's say because of that choice, well, now your immune system is not as strong as it could be. And so you get run down, you get sick often. And when you get sick often, you're now missing work or out of your business. And when that happens, you lose money. And when that happens, you're down for your family. And you can't really be there as much within your marriage. And you start to feel shitty about yourself. And how does that affect your marriage? Do you see this? There's a cost to all your choices. What is it costing you to allow your mind to fuck with you? And journal all of this. All of this. So, sister, 3 things I'm going to leave you with today. Number 1, I've created something called the Women Wanting More store. Women Wanting More apparel. Women who want more within their life. That is you, listen to this podcast, I'm going to assume. And who want to wear who you are. A reminder of your inside beliefs reflected on your outside. And when you go into the store, there are t-shirts and tank tops and mugs, hoodies and beanies to start. And you're going to see sayings and words that are a lot of things I talk about here in the podcast. Will allow you to wear who you are, a reminder when your mind is trying to fuck with you. So head over to shop.womenwantingmore.com. So that's shop.womenwantingmore.com and grab your gear and place your order today. Number 2, subscribe to this newsletter, Women Wanting More newsletter. You get VIP access to everything Women Wanting More. Now, the Women Wanting More store I launched in this first quarter of 2018. There is something big that's happening every single quarter. And if you don't have VIP access on the newsletter, you are going to miss out. You cannot get it all here. Okay, all the show notes, there's different references, resources that I talk about in the podcast. You get them sent in show notes as well, too, in the newsletter. Video trainings, invitations to certain things. So head over to drkarenosborne.com/action guide, drkarenosborne.com/action guide. I'm going to send you my More 4, which is how to start your day in power, PDF and a short video training, as well as 2 video trainings on how to drop your stories and create new ones, really to remember who you are. So that's drkarenosborne.com/action guide. And then make sure to leave a review on iTunes. So I have some haters out there. I do have some haters. And you're going to see when you go to iTunes that there's some nasty reviews on there. It's fine. Everybody has their opinion. But I don't want somebody coming there for the first time and checking the podcast to think that's the norm. It should, the naysayers tend to scream the loudest. So let's scream louder with love and appreciation. So if you love and appreciate this podcast and it's brought you value, I would like you to give back, not to me, but to the other women that'll be checking out this podcast that could potentially start to shift their life because of the words that they read that are your words of how this podcast has affected you, sister. So head over to iTunes to leave that review. And if you don't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.